What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Umbrella Academy video. Be warned, there will be spoilers for the ending of Season 2 as we discuss that cliffhanger ending and how the Sparrow Academy came to be. If you enjoyed the video, then please do consider subscribing with notifications on so you never miss a video, and drop a like if you enjoyed it as well. As a supplement at the end, I will also be discussing every moment that was found where the Sparrow Academy logo could be seen as nice little Easter eggs. So stay to the end for that part of the video. So just as the team go back to the future and hopefully to their old lives in 2019, something happened. To quote the great philosopher Taylor Swift, who said, "Everything has changed. There is no Umbrella Academy, and there is now only the Sparrow Academy." However, to explain this, we need to run it back from this moment to when the team had dinner with their father. It is here that they explain to their dad, way back in the 1960s, that he adopts each one of them as his children, and they were all born on the same day in 1989 and all have superpowers. This did not have the impact they expected whatsoever, and Hargreaves ended up hating each and every one of them, just number 5 an incy-wincy bit less. I mean, he hated them before when he was training them, but now their behaviour he deemed as vulgar means he decided to not adopt them whatsoever. But why the Sparrow Academy? Obviously, the Umbrella Academy was named after one of Hargreaves' enterprises. However, we actually saw a sparrow in the show multiple times. One of the biggest was being levitated by Harlan, and Harlan was actually given powers by Vanya as she transferred some sort of orange energy to him, giving him the ability to manipulate objects, which we see him do as he is driving off with his mother. He is seen levitating a sparrow. He stays in the 60s and will be an adult by 2019. It is possible that Hargreaves manages to find Harlan and manipulate the powers of him and start training the team a lot earlier, or at least understand the powers a lot earlier than 1989. He would have been able to get an early chance at training a powered person in prep for the day in 1989 when he knows all the powered individuals will be born. I expect in 1989 the team would be born, and that would explain why Ben is sort of still the same age, or at least it looks like he is the same age. So what does this all mean for this new Sparrow Academy? Now, Harlan looked visibly changed by his sort of coming of age moment at the end of Umbrella Academy Season 2, and if he is the catalyst for what happened, then the Sparrow Academy would be a lot darker than they were used to, and boy, that is saying something. Harlan was very introverted throughout the entirety of the season, but his visible changes in his face make it seem like he knows what he is now. Each member of the team had a personality and genuinely wanted to do the right thing in spite of being constantly berated by Hargreaves, which we saw heavily at the opening of episode 10 as they get the blame for Ben's death at Ben's funeral, which is absolutely beyond harsh. They did, however, have a loving, albeit robot mother, which offset the harshness of the father somewhat, and the mother actually tried to impart some sort of love to the children, especially with Diego and Vanya, but this has actually changed immensely as the robot mother could be a victim of the meddling by the siblings. We saw her actually told information by Diego as he seemed to be the one closer to her at least, and he's the one who deactivates her. And he also equally had the most hatred from his father, as we saw at the dinner and when he was actually trying to kill or at least fight his father earlier in the series. However, he has done a sort of inception. Now with her, as we saw her go and investigate Hargreaves and question what he was doing, as we saw her in the room with the files upon files. However, this is a human version of her, and I thought that Reginald had actually made her in the image of a past flame, but now she is starting to turn against him, and he may not actually remake her as well, and the siblings would never know compassion. This means the Sparrow Academy are a darker version, which is why Ben has contempt for the newly re-arrived Umbrella Academy. However, in the comics, the Academy have a connection to the mother, so it seems they are swapping the Sparrows and kind of swapping them to already being existing to being a cause or a actual consequence of meddling in the past. Now, I would expect each one of the team for the Sparrow Academy to be picked to counteract each member of the Umbrella Academy, as the siblings actually revealed their powers to Hargreaves. We even see a cube as one of the Sparrows. Now, few theories out there have said that this could actually be a replacement for Pogo, or it could be a replacement for the mother. However, we know there are 7 siblings, there'd be 7 members of the Sparrow Academy, and looking at the image, it looks like there are 7, including the actual cube. So the cube could be actually one of the children. Maybe one of them died and their brain was actually uploaded to the cube as well. However, the Sparrow Academy in the actual comic book were trapped inside the cube as well, and they actually jumped out of it, and they then came to face with the Umbrella Academy. So it may be that this cube is being used to counteract the whole of the powers of number 5 with the whole time and space thing. We know Ben can summon tentacles, so those tentacles could actually be from another dimension. So that could then negate anything that's going on with Ben, and the cube can predict where the heck number 5 will actually appear. Now, like I said, in the comics, they came out of the cube, so this cube could be a conduit to another dimension, and the possibilities are endless for this. So I think Harland is the precursor to the team, and Hargreaves can predict where they will arrive and trap number 5 so they can stop meddling with time. This would mean they actually need to go and find Lyla in 2019 so they can actually use her to copy the powers. Now, there is all possibility that Hargreaves would actually find Lyla and she can be put as part of the Umbrella Academy. That's an interesting theory, but I think what makes the most narrative sense in the terms of being more entertaining is the MacGuffin of Lyla being used again, and there is no apocalypse this time. I do believe that this team has been worked on ever since Hargreaves met the Umbrella team, but there were other kids born on the same day, and I've always wondered what happened to them. I think they are essentially everything the UA are not. However, in the comics, they are actually a separate team and have been set up seemingly at the same time. So it looks like there is some changes here, because in Hotel Oblivion, Hargreaves actually created an off-world prison. And considering Season 2 was an adaptation of the second book, Dallas, then Hotel Oblivion would be the story for Season 3, albeit adapted very loosely. I expect the themes of the prison and villains in another dimension to be this season sprinkled in with the Sparrow Academy, but it won't follow it too rigidly. The hints to this, or at least the Sparrow Academy, were littered throughout the series, and there are actually 23 of them. The ones I will list now do not include the one of Harlan holding or at least levitating the Sparrow toy there. Now, there was one on the dairy goods truck that the assassins steal. There was a bit on a piece of paper. It was also seen under the invite to the Mexican consulate party that 5 holds up. And then there was on the paper next to the typewriter in the police station, on the bath towel to the left of the handler when she's actually in the bath. There was one on the room service menu at the hotel where Lyla actually meets the handler. There was also one on the wooden box of the handler's desk, on the door of the liquor store that Klaus actually goes into to break his sobriety, and then there was one on the wall in the kitchen at the Mexican consulate, one also on the piece of paper next to Pogo's drawing on Hargreaves' desk, on the vacuum in the assassin's house. There was also one on the new Shoal Paints design, on the banner at the Bingo Blitz, and on the note that the handler actually gives to 5, telling him the location of the commission board. There was also one on the Pogo candy bar in the vending machine, on the fire axe sign, on Vanya's suit on Hargreaves' chalkboard in his secret room. I may do a video on that room later. There was also one on a Kennedy poster in the bar where they meet Old Man 5. One also on the phone at the FBI building. One on a piece of paper in 5's briefcase. And also one on the commission's kill order for Lyla's parents. There was also one on the bottle of liquor that Raymond drinks. And lastly, one on the back of Jack Ruby's TV. So there are quite a lot, and there was going to be absolutely loads of them scattered throughout. So it shows that this was always going to happen, and the Sparrow Academy, just like Thanos, is inevitable. So let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you think there's much to what I'm saying? And please do subscribe if you want more videos from us, and do drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon, and goodbye.